Good morning, students. In last class we already completed what is the preparation methods, not all, some preparation methods of haloalkanes. Okay, that how we are prepared haloalkanes from alcohols. Okay, so that is as Dodgen's method. Next, that is by using Lucas reagent, and also by using S4Cl2, and also by using some red phosphorus and chlorine and bromine, Cl2 and Br2. These all methods we are completed in last class only. Okay. Now today class we are continuing with the topic, that is how we are prepared the halogen compounds by using alkanes. So in that is a very important thing is Markovnikov's rule. So we are preparing the haloalkanes by alkenes. That is a concept we are going to discuss now. Okay. Further, there is a one Markovnikov rule is there, and there is an anti-Markovnikov rule is there. First, before going to this Markovnikov rule and anti-Markovnikov rule, let us discuss how many types of alkenes we have. There are two types of alkenes. One is called symmetrical alkene, and there is an unsymmetrical alkene. Okay. Symmetrical alkenes means if we cut the double bond exactly middle, then it is divided into two equal halves. That is called as a symmetrical alkene. The best example of symmetrical alkene is, suppose if I take CH2 double bond CH2, this is called as ethene, and if you take the butene, that is CH3CH double bond CH and CH, that is called as but2ene. And one more example is this is 2,3. So 1 first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. That 2 and third, second position and third position, methyl is there. That's why it is called 2,3 dimethyl but2ene. It is also but2ene. Both are but2ene only. The difference is here second position and third position there is a methyl group. That's why it is called as a 2,3 dimethyl but2ene. These are double. If I cut double bond here, if I cut double bond here, then this is become CH2 and this is become CH2. What is meaning of that? This is divided into two equal halves. Here also, if we cut the double bond here, this is and this one is the same, equal halves. The same way here also. Means if we cut this double bond exactly middle, then it is divided into two equal halves. Such a type of alkenes is called as symmetrical alkenes. The unsymmetrical alkene is, suppose CH3 CH double bond CH2. If you come here, this is called as prop1ene. This is called as prop1ene. Here, if you cut this bond exactly here, then it is not divided into equal halves. This is not divided into equal halves. See, this is different and this is different. This is different and this is different. This is different and this is different. Why? Because if we cut the double bond exactly here, this is converted to CH3 single bond CH. This is converted into what? CH2 means it is not divided into two equal halves. It means that it is an unsymmetrical alkene. It's an unsymmetrical alkene. Clear? And one more example is that is one as CH3, CH2, CH2, CH double bond CH. That is called as pent-1ene. Pent-1ene. This is also unsymmetrical alkene. This is also unsymmetrical alkene. And one more best example is this is also unsymmetrical alkene. Why I can call this unsymmetrical alkene? If you cut here, it does not become equal halves. That's why it is also unsymmetrical alkene. This is the best examples of symmetrical and unsymmetrical alkenes. Okay. Now, why this symmetrical alkene and unsymmetrical alkene is coming to the picture now? The only reason is, if you take alkene that is the CH2 double bond CH2 that is called as ethene, is the best example of symmetrical alkene. Further, if we add the HS, hydrogen acids. Okay, HS, that is either HCl or HBr or HF. Okay, you take ethene, to that you are adding HS, it may be HCl or HBr or HI. In that, there is an electrophilic addition takes place, means there is a generation of electrophile followed by addition of that electrophile to that alkene, means here happening of electrophilic addition. Means what is meaning of electrophilic addition is nothing but the HX is a polar covalent bond, is right? It is divided into H plus and X minus. Then is a removing of this double bond. The H is adding one to the one carbon. The X minus is added to the another carbon. Then it is become CH2X single bond CH2H, means the hydrogen is adding to this in this position, the X minus is added to this position, then the corresponding product is this one. This is called as alkyl halide. Means, okay, here is a very important thing is examples. Examples is, if you take unsymmetrical alkene, it is called symmetrical alkene. If you take unsymmetrical alkene, can you tell me what is the best example of unsymmetrical alkene? CH3, CH double bond, CH. This is the unsymmetrical alkene prop 1ene. For that you are adding either HBr, or HCl. Then here, let us look at here. This position also same and this position also same. Why? Because this is unsymmetrical alkene. For unsymmetrical alkene, addition of HX is not following any rule. You may add this hydrogen to this carbon, or you can add hydrogen to this carbon, H plus. It may be this carbon or this carbon. There is no rule here. But when you come to the adding of the same HBr to the unsymmetrical alkene, for example, prop 1ene, there is a following of Markovnikov rule. What is the Markovnikov rule is? This is attacking reagent. In this attacking reagent, which is the negative part? The negative part is a Br minus, the positive part is a H plus. The negative part is added to the unsymmetrical alkene which carbon atom having less number of hydrogens. Let us look at this carbon-carbon double bond. Here one carbon is there. Here these two carbons are bonded with carbon-carbon double bond, isn't it? Look at this carbon and this carbon. In which carbon atom there is a less number of hydrogens? Suppose if I give numbering here 1, 2, 3. Okay? In which carbon atom having less number of hydrogen? No doubt. Second carbon atom having less number of hydrogen. So here which is as an this is attacking reagent, no? In that attacking reagent, which is the negative part? Br minus is the negative part. Isn't it, ma? That Br minus is go and attack the where the less number of hydrogen is present. Suppose this is a Br minus is a negative part, is go and attack into the what? Less number of hydrogen containing carbon. And what is the H plus is there? What is the positive part is there? That going to attack the more number of hydrogen containing carbon atom. This is called as Markovnikov rule. Already is there in first PUC. There is no any reagent on the arrow. Okay. So then we'll get the what? CH3C. After attacking, you should be remove this double bond. The double bond is become single bond. This is CH2, and there is already what is there here? One H is there here. Okay. So where the Br minus is going to attack? Is going to the less number of hydrogen containing carbon. Where H plus is going to attack? Is going to attack the more number of hydrogen containing carbon. Okay. Now this is a major product according to the Markovnikov rule. According to Markovnikov rule. What is the minor product? If it is a major product, the minor product it may be. The minor product is that is CH3 CH. Just exchange this Br there. Hydrogen here. This is the hydrogen and CH2Br. This is the minor product. Means major, what is meaning of major product and what is the meaning of minor product is? The major product means which we are getting the percentage of yield is high. That is a major product. Okay. So percentage of yield is high. Yield, we are getting the product is more. That is meaning of that. So whenever you can add the hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical alkene, according to Markovnikov rule, the negative part should be go to less number of hydrogen containing carbon, the positive part should be go to the more number of hydrogen containing carbon. The name of this is 2-bromopropane. This name is called as 1-bromopropane. This name is 1-bromopropane, act as a minor product. 2-bromopropane is act as a major product. This is the best example of Markovnikov rule. So remember the rule, the statement, and also you can remember the examples also. Okay. Let us move to some basic level competitive questions. They may ask CET and NEET also. Before going to that examples, I want to go with some more concept that is called as anti-Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov rule and anti-Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov. This is exactly opposite to the Markovnikov rule. Okay. So what is the anti-Markovnikov rule when it is happened? Again, you don't take the symmetrical alkene, either Markovnikov rule or anti-Markovnikov rule. You should be take unsymmetrical alkene. Okay. And this prop-1N is the unsymmetrical alkene. For that you are adding, that is HBr. Only you can take HBr. Keep your mind that anti-Markovnikov rule is not applicable for HI and HCl. HCl and HI is not follow anti-Markovnikov rule. Only HBr is follow anti-Markovnikov rule, but HBr, HCl, HI, the three is involved in Markovnikov rule. Only HBr is not. Only HBr is involved in anti-Markovnikov rule. HI, HCl is not involved in anti-Markovnikov rule. So that's why I am taking HBr. But you want to get anti-Markovnikov rule. or you want to show the anti-Markovnikov rule, you should be right on the arrow that is called as peroxide. Generally, what type of peroxide we can take here? Generally, some organic peroxides like benzoyl peroxide. What type of peroxides we have to take is benzoyl peroxide. Can you tell me the formula of benzoyl peroxide? The benzoyl peroxide formula is C6H5 C double bond O O O C double bond O C6H5. Wherever you see such type of linkages, that is called as a peroxide. That's why this we are calling as benzoyl peroxide. Means whenever you take HBr in the presence of peroxide as a catalyst, there is a following of which rule? Anti-Markovnikov rule. What is the meaning of anti-Markovnikov rule? The name itself indicates that it is exactly opposite to the what? Markovnikov rule. What is the Markovnikov rule? The negative part in this attacking reagent is going to attack to less number of hydrogen containing carbon. That is called as a Markovnikov rule. Now what is the meaning of anti-Markovnikov rule? The negative part is going to attack the more number of hydrogen containing carbon atom. This is a H plus and this is a Br minus. The Br minus going to attack here. The H plus is going to attack here. This is called as anti-Markovnikov rule. In Markovnikov rule, the negative part is going to attack the more number of hydrogen. But in anti-Markovnikov rule, in the presence of peroxide, the negative part going to attack the what? More number of hydrogen containing carbon atom. So then what product you are expecting? CH3, CHH and CH2Br. This is called as 1-bromo propane. 1-bromo propane means this is act as a major product according to which rule? Anti-Markovnikov rule. This is the statements and concept of anti-Markovnikov rule. Keep your mind. In first PUC already we have completed the mechanism of this. So go through again that there in anti-Markovnikov rule, if you go the mechanism, you get the free radical as an intermediate. But in anti-Markovnikov rule, you get carbocation is an intermediate. So that's why the stability of carbocation is tertiary carbocation is more stable. But when you come to the free radical, primary free radical is more stable. Due to that reason only, here the negative part is going to the attacking up here, the positive part going to attack. You can go the first PUC alkenes chapter, there you will get the mechanism properly. Keep in mind, in anti-Markovnikov rule, formation of free radical is intermediate. In Markovnikov rule, there is a formation of carbocation is intermediate. Okay. Let us take some examples. Suppose if I take this as an example, if I take this example, I will write this is the example. What is the product you are expecting? Then I will write some more. Meanwhile, you can just try to answer. Let us go these two examples, then you can understand what is the applications of Markovnikov rule and anti-Markovnikov rule. Can you answer now here? Here, observe here, this is unsymmetrical alkene and this is HBr. There is no any catalyst. Means there is a following of which rule? Markovnikov rule. In Markovnikov rule, this is a carbon and this is a what? Carbon. Okay. bonded with a double bond. Here how many hydrogens is there? One hydrogen is there. Here how many hydrogens is there? There is no any hydrogens there. Why? Because already 4 bonds are satisfied. That's why if we go to the this is a negative point in attacking reagent, where it will go according to Markovnikov rule, where the less number of hydrogens is there. Here there is a 1 number of hydrogen. Here this carbon is a 0 number of hydrogen. That's why the Br is going there, the H is going there. This is a major product. When you come to the here, I think you will observe only here. I will write here. But in the presence of which catalyst it is? Peroxide catalyst. In this case, H, this is unsymmetrical alkene. This is unsymmetrical alkene. Okay, this is unsymmetrical alkene. HBr, there is no any catalyst. So that's why which rule is following? Markovnikov rule. What is meaning of Markovnikov rule? The negative part is going to the what? Less number of hydrogens. Then you can expand it. It is a C and it is a C. There is a presence of what? CH2 and there is a presence of what? CH. Presence of what? CH. One hydrogen is there here. Two hydrogen. Where the Br will go? Go here. Then what the product we are expecting now? Br is going to attack here, hydrogen is going to attack here. Okay, now here in the presence of peroxide catalyst, the Br is going to attack here where? The Br is going to attack in the what? More number of hydrogen containing carbon. Why? Why the Br is going to attack in here? Why? Because it's a peroxide. Okay, following of which rule? Anti-Markovnikov rule. Okay, so that's why the Br is going to attack in of what? Where the more number of hydrogen containing carbon atom which is attached to double bond. Here CH2 is there, here CH is there, HBr, the Br in HBr, the Br minus is go and attack the where the more number of hydrogen containing. Why? Because it's happening in the presence of peroxide catalyst following which rule? Anti-Markovnikov rule. That is the products in these examples. Okay. Let us take some more examples on this based on Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov rule. Let us take, this is an example, third example on this. So here, is it symmetrical alkene or unsymmetrical alkene? No doubt it is a what? Unsymmetrical alkene. Means since unsymmetrical alkene, which rule is followed? Markovnikov rule is followed. Why? Because there is no any catalyst. Then, so here keep your mind. Initially the H plus bond attacking here. When H plus bond attacking here, suppose when this bond is undergo migration here, polar migration there, we will get the negative charge. Following all of you? This is a carbon-carbon pi bond. The pi electrons is go here. Then here we get the negative charge. Here we get the positive charge. Okay. Why here we get the positive charge? Why? Because these electrons are moving here. There is a more electron density. Then here we get the negative charge. Here we get the positive charge. Okay, once here we get the negative charge, this H plus will go on attacking here. Here we will get the which charge? Positive charge. Here we get the which charge? Negative charge. Why? Why? Because the pi electrons are migrate here, we get the negative charge. Okay, here we get the positive charge. Now for here, immediately there is the attacking of which one is the negative charge? No, there is the attacking of this H plus. It is become what? CH3. It is become CH3. Now what type of carbocation it is?
It is a secondary carbocation, isn't it? It is a secondary carbocation. Is there any possible to convert this secondary carbocation into tertiary carbocation? Yes, there is a possible to convert this secondary carbocation into tertiary carbocation. How? In last class only we discussed there is a 1,2 methyl shift. This methyl is shifted here. When the methyl is shifted, we get the positive charge. Then here so do you understand? Previously here is a positive charge. Now this methyl is shift to here. Then we get the positive charge here. This is called as 1,2 methyl shift. Why the shift is happening? Why? Because the secondary carbocation should be converted into tertiary carbocation. Now it is a tertiary carbocation, is the most stable carbocation. Finally there is a attacking of which one? Br minus to this tertiary carbocation. Then we are expecting the product is CH3, CCH3, and it is attacking of Br, and it is CH and CH3 and CH. This is the main product in this reaction. Are you following us? So initially there is a negative charge is attacking, negative charge is migrate here, then we get the negative charge here, positive charge here. After getting the negative charge, the H plus is immediately attacked. Then this CH3 is become what? CH3. This positive charge is there on carbon, that's why it is called as secondary carbocation. Secondary carbocation. This secondary carbocation convert into 1,2 methyl shift. 1,2 methyl shift is converted to tertiary carbocation. This is more stable carbocation. Finally, attacking of Br minus. Then we expecting that product. Okay. Like that, so many other examples is there. You can so many other examples like it is just methyl shift. There is a ring expansion takes place in some examples. That all you can discuss in the further classes. Okay. Now we are going to another one. From alkenes only, we are preparing dihalogen compounds. What is meaning of dihalogen compounds? The dihalogen compounds is nothing but there is a presence of two halogen atoms. There is a presence of two halogen atoms in that organic compound, that we are calling as the dihalogen compounds. So if you take CH2 double bond CH2, that is called as ethene. Okay, from alkene only I am preparing. For that you can add some Br2 and add CCl4 What is the CCl4? CCl4 is called as a carbon tetrachloride. Br2 is a liquid form and it is a brown color. So bromine water is brown color. Bromine water is a brown, thick, dark brown color. This dark brown color bromine which is added to ethene and shake well. After some time the dark brown color bromine becomes colorless. Means what happened there? Simple. The Br is going to attack. One Br is attacking here, another Br is attacking. He is also electrophilic addition. Means removing of the double bond is converted into single bond. Is converted into what? Single bond. The double bond is converted into what? Single bond. Then adding of one Br is here, another Br is here. This is called as electrophilic addition. But electrophilic addition means there is a getting of which one? Two Br attached, two halogens are attached here. That's why it is called as dihalogen compounds. Now this is a vicinal dihalides. What is meaning of vicinal? VICIONAL. Vicinal dihalide. Simple we are calling as VIC. VIC is nothing but vicinal. Vicinal is nothing but that what two halogen atoms is there? The two halogen atoms which are attached to adjacent positions, that is called as a vicinal dihalides. Okay. Now, if you take ethene is react with what? Brown color bromine water in the presence of CCl4. There is a formation of vicinal dihalides. See, after completion of the reaction, the brown color of bromine is become colorless. Means what is meaning of that? There is a presence of ethene. Ethene is react with what? The brown color Br2. Means this reaction is used to identify the carbon-carbon double bond. It's also called, it is used to identify the unsaturation. Where is the carbon-carbon double bond is there or not? To that you want to identify. You can use brown color Br2, brown color bromine. You can shake well with the salt that alkene. Then immediately the brown color liquid is become colorless. Then you can think there is a presence of what? Alkene. That's why it is called as test for this reaction is for test for unsaturation. Test for unsaturation. This is a very important. Okay. Next, there is a two words are very important. The two words are allylic halogenation. Allylic halogenation and benzylic halogenation. Allylic halogenation and benzylic halogenation. What is allylic halogenation and what is the meaning of benzylic halogenation? Simple. If you take any compound, in that allylic position hydrogen is removed and adding of halogen. Remove the allylic position hydrogen and add the halogen. For example, if you take this is a molecule. In this molecule, which is called as a allylic position. This what I am marked here, this is called as a allylic position. You know already classification only we discussed. This is allylic position. If we come to this molecule, which is called as a benzylic position. This is called as a benzylic position. And if you go another molecule to better understand. Now here which is called as a benzylic position? The benzene ring adjacent position. This is called as a benzylic position. Now this is called as a allylic position. Okay. Now for that you can remove this hydrogen and add the halogen. That is called as a allylic halogenation. Suppose this molecule can react with what? Br2. This molecule can react with Br2. In which temperature is either Br2 can add or you can add the Cl. Use Br2. It is called as allylic bromination. Suppose if you use the Cl2, it is called as allylic chlorination. Either you can use Br2 or Cl2 in the presence of 773 Kelvin temperature. In the presence of 773 Kelvin temperature, in that 1 Br is removed, 1 Br is going to attack the in this position by removing hydrogen. Remember here, the hydrogen is removed, okay, the halogen is attacked. Then it become what? CH2 double bond. CH, then it become what? CH2 Br. Means where the Br is attacking? Where the Br is attacking? Either Br or C. If you take Br2, Br is attacked. If you take the Cl2, Cl attack. Where the Br2 is attacked? Allylic position. This is the allylic. That's why it is called as allylic halogen. Keep your mind, either Br2 or Cl2, if it is react with what in the presence of what? How much temperature? 773 Kelvin temperature. And then there is a happening of which one now? Allylic halogenation. There is another case also happening of allylic bromination. Allylic bromination. That reagent is by using N-bromosuccinamide, that is called as NBS. NBS, N-bromosuccinamide. NBS is nothing but in the presence of what? Sunlight. Means this allylic alkene can react with NBS in the presence of what? Sunlight. The NBS is nothing but N-bromosuccinamide. Okay, so this allylic alkene can react with what? NBS in the presence of sunlight. In that case also NBS, N-bromo. Here Br go and attack the allylic position, that is called as CH2 CH and CH2Br. This is what position? This position is called as allylic position. This NBS is a allylic halogenation halogenating reagent. Means the Br won't attack the allylic position by removing what? Hydrogen. Okay, so this is the two reagents, that is called Br2 or Cl2 in the presence of 773 Kelvin temperature is act as a allylic halogenating agent. N-bromosuccinamide is also act as a allylic halogenating agent. Then which is called as a benzylic halogenating agent. Benzylic, this is what benzylic position. No, in which cases the benzylic halogenation takes place. You can take either Br2 or you can take either Cl2, but you have to use some sunlight. If you use some sunlight, means you take the Br2 sunlight. Then what happened? This is a benzylic position. No, in that benzylic position, hydrogen is removed and adding a what? Br. So if I remove there, if I already, how many hydrogens is there here? 3 is there. In that, remove one hydrogen. This will become what? CH2 and attach the what? Br. And attach the what? Br. Means where the Br is going to attack? It's going to attack at a benzylic position. That's why it is called as a benzylic halogenation. The same way you can take the Br2 in the presence of what? Sunlight. They are also happening which one? Benzylic halogenation. Then we will get the what? CH, Br and CH. CH, Br and CH. This is also happening in which position? Benzylic position. So this reagents Br2 or you can take Cl2 also. Keep in mind, you can take Cl2 also and you can use sunlight. In both cases there is a happening of which one? Benzylic position. In these cases there is a happening of allylic halogenation. This is a very important for competitive exams. Benzylic halogenation and allylic halogenation. So the last method of preparation of halogen compounds by using any molecules means, see, there is a, still now we have prepared halogen compounds like alkyl chlorides, alkyl bromides, and very rarely cases we are prepared iodides and fluorides. Why is there any special methods for the preparation of what? Alkyl fluorides? And is there any special methods for the preparation of what? Alkyl iodides? Yes, there is a special methods for the preparation of alkyl iodides. That is Finkelstein reaction. That actual method name is called as halogen exchange method. The method name is called as halogen exchange method. In that, first one is a Finkelstein reaction. This Finkelstein reaction is special methods for the preparation of only alkyl iodides. This is the only special method preparation of alkyl iodides. By using which we can possible to prepare only alkyl iodides. Finkelstein reaction useful is, it is useful to preparing of what? alkyl iodide. From where you can possible to prepare? You can take either alkyl. If you take RX, what is meaning of RX? RX is alkyl halide. Here X is maybe Br and X is maybe Cl. Means you can take CH3 CH2 Br, or you can take CH3 CH2 Cl. Then you can take alkyl bromide and alkyl iodide. These react with what? Sodium iodide, NaI, in the presence of what? Dry acetone. In the presence of what? Dry acetone. Dry acetone is a solvent. Dry acetone is a solvent. Here also you can take NaI, and here also you can take NaI in the presence of what? Same solvent. There is a dry acetone. Is the removing of what? NaX like this. NaX like this. This I minus is go on react like this, and formation of what? Ri plus NaX. Ri plus NaX. What is meaning of Ri? Ri is nothing but alkyl iodides. Ri is nothing but alkyl iodides. The same way, if you take removing of this NaBr and formation of what? CH3 CH2I plus NaBr. This is also called as ethyl iodide. Ethyl iodide. The same way product, same product we get, but this is become NaCl. Are you following now? So means in this method is only preparing of which one? Alkyl iodide. Alkyl iodide we can't prepare in this method. Alkyl fluoride we can't prepare. Alkyl bromide we can't prepare. Alkyl iodide we can't prepare. Alkyl chloride also we can't prepare. Only we can prepare alkyl iodide by using Finkelstein reaction. What is the reaction? Alkyl bromide or alkyl chloride can react with what? Sodium iodide, NaI, sodium iodide, in the presence of what? Dry acetone, formation of what? Alkyl iodides. Okay. There is another method is there for the preparation of alkyl fluorides. There is one special method is used for the preparation of what? Alkyl fluorides. Alkyl fluorides. Still we didn't prepare any alkyl fluoride from starting to now. So there is one special method is there. That is called as Schwartz reaction. Schwartz reaction. Schwartz reaction. SWARTS. Schwartz reaction. What is a Schwartz reaction? It is only useful to prepare alkyl fluorides. From this method, we can't possible to prepare either alkyl bromide, alkyl iodide, and alkyl chloride. Means in this, you can take RX. You can take RX. Here X may be Br or Cl, or it may be I also. You can take I also. Most cases you can take either Br or Cl. Means you can take CH3. You can take CH3Cl. Or you can take CH3 CH2Br. You can take either alkyl chloride and alkyl bromide. These react with what? AZF, silver fluoride. AZF, silver fluoride. Not only using of AZF, you can also use either AZF you can use. Also you can use Hg2F2. Also you can use SbF3. Also you can use SbF3. Any one metal fluoride. This is called as a metal fluoride. Why? Because the silver is a metal, mercury is a metal, Sb is a metal. Attached fluorine, that's what is called as metal fluorides. When alkyl chloride or alkyl bromide is reacted with what? Metal fluoride. There is a simple removing of this AZX. Then there is a formation of what? RF plus AZX. RF plus AZX. You can also use SC2F2. You can also use SbF3. The same way you can use this reagents further. Then also we are getting CH3F plus AzCl, and here also we get the CH3 CH2F plus we are getting AzBr. Means this is alkyl fluoride. Methyl fluoride, ethyl fluoride. These two methods, this is the two fluorides we are prepared from alkyl iodides and alkyl bromide from alkyl bromides by using this metal fluoride. So this is all preparation methods. In next class we are going to discuss chemical properties of halogen compounds and also physical properties. Finally we are discuss uses. See you in next class.